Hey everybody, what's up? This is G here with Solo Fighter, and here I am with Cyrus and everything like that. And we're starting a little bit late today and everything, but we're going to be talking about the UFC 254, I guess, co-main event and main event and everything. Since all of the prelims and all of the other fights have basically already happened, awesome fights by the way, and we're here to get this started. Cyrus.
Good evening, everybody, or good morning, whatever. um, yeah, it's a huge event. Probably the event of the year. I'm really excited about this card. It's going to be great. I mean, tonight history will be made either way, but it's it's you know it's a shame Tony can't be here tonight, Tony Ferguson, but Justin Gaethje is amazing. He's a great fighter. It's great he made it all the way here, and it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jared Cannonier versus Robert Whitaker is about to start soon. So it's been a great card.
Yep, been a pretty good card and everything like that. Like I said, Lauren Murphy, like Phil Hawes
Right?
and everything like that. Like what Phil Hawes just came in with the fastest debut at middleweight.
Wow.
And I mean, like, just really good stuff that's been happening this whole entire, I guess, day for us over here in the USA. Night for you over there in Europe.
Yeah, we're basically 10 p.m., 5 to 10 in Europe.
Okay, all right. So what have you think? What have you been thinking about these fights so far?
Man, they're good. It's a good card. Lots of action, lots of finishes. They stacked it, which is something they haven't done in a long time. But I mean, there's Canyon, just as I mentioned, very interesting middleweight bout. There's what's his name? Cannonier versus
Whitaker coming up.
Whitaker. That's a great fight. And Volkov versus Harris is always is a fight I found very intriguing.
Okay.
But there's plenty of really Lauren Murphy. She's always worth watching. There's been a lot of fast, good finishes on this card. So it's great.
All right. So I mean, like, what about Phil Haas? What do you think about him? Just for a quick go over.
I think he's brilliant. It was a great knockout,
So you think he could be
just like that.
like
Yeah,
the next prospect at middleweight, kind of like
yeah,
Kamzat is?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I thought his boxing was pretty accurate, and I thought it was pretty fast and everything to basically like just take out Markoum like that. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
yeah. No, I think it's one of the best cards of the year. It's probably the best card of the year so far.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. So I mean, like, so let's get into it. Like, what do you think is going on with Cannonier versus Whitaker here? Like,
Uh, he's one of the most amazing transformations I've ever seen. Like he was never fat, but when he was fighting at heavyweight in particular, but now it's like yeah, it's nuts.
okay. I mean, so do you think that he deserves, the fight against Israel Adesanya with this win? I mean, considering like how long he's been fighting at middleweight and the people he's, had wins over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely I wouldn't complain if he got the shot, because um, and it's cool as well for Adesanya to have people who give them different looks, different challenges, different styles. So yeah, I have no problem giving him a title shot.
So I mean, what do you think that Cannonier could do differently against Whitaker that other people have not been able to? Do you think it's his power that's going to basically be able to just overtake Whitaker, even though Whitaker has dealt with power punchers and power strikers before, or
Yeah, but the thing is, Costa fucked up. He fought him the way he fought him, but yeah, no, but Cannonier, the way I see it, is he'll bring the pressure, but he's even sharper than Costa. This no disrespect to Costa, but Costa will just hit you anywhere until he breaks you, and then he'll change tact. But yeah,
okay.
it's
I
I
mean,
don't know. Like he's explosive, like seriously explosive, and he always puts the pressure on. He might not throw as often as others, but when he throws a punch, he usually he takes his time and he calculates and everything, and he lands it flush. But the thing is, like, if he wakes up one day and tells himself, "Man, I don't need to listen to them," that's good.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like with Cannoneer and everything like that. I mean, Costa does pretty well and everything, like ambushing people and just basically just going for all-out blitzes, to get the TKO or finish and everything. But it's like his accuracy with that many punches throw us like what causes like 8.5 something strikes per minute and everything. I think Cannoneer is probably close to a little bit past half of that, but his accuracy combined with his
Yeah,
power and everything, I think is what puts him over the top and makes him such a like dangerous fight for Whitaker, who, as we know, like with his Taekwondo style, is more of a counter fighter, you know, counter or point striking fighter and everything that could turn on power when he's ready to use it. And
yeah.
I think in this fight that's coming up here, I honestly believe that Whitaker is probably going to use a counter point fighting style instead of going for I'm going to basically just get into a blowout brawl with Jared Cannonier in this fight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends though. But Robert Whitaker could come out here and just do something completely different. He could go for a flying gogoplata, freaking rolling thunder or something like that, and just completely blow us all out of the water. But until that actually happens, I mean, like they both have their styles. They both do exactly what they do, and this is definitely going to be a weird but wild fight to watch here.
Oh yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy because Whitaker, in his own right, he hits real hard. But I think Cannonier hits even harder, and he's explosive. Very light on his feet. It's like I said, it's nuts because he the I met one of those guys, and okay,
Okay, so I
yeah.
mean, what style do you think that Whitaker is going to come out with tonight? Like, you think it's going to go with like the Taekwondo, like point style, like counter point style striking, or you think he's going to go with like, basically pressuring and giving giving Cannonier no space to really move and basically putting him in the clinch to strike him? I mean, either one of those styles might work and everything, but me personally, I'm probably going to go with the counterpoint striking, and that's probably what it is. That's Cannonier's style, and I hope that's what he comes out here with tonight, because I don't know if getting into all-out brawl with Jared Cannonier is going to be the most effective thing to do here. So, what do you think about that? Are you there? Uh, well, if you're there, I don't think you can hear you, so I'll just go ahead and move it on to the next fight. For the next fight, we have Khabib taking on Justin Gaethje. Yeah, like Cyrus was saying here earlier and everything. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that it's not Tony Ferguson, but that fight in itself was probably cursed for all eternity as it was anyway. Like 5 times, didn't happen. Injuries, pullouts, weight cuts, whatever. Like, who knows? Like, no one really knows. Somehow this fight was not supposed to happen. Khabib is saying that he's not going to retire, but really he only has 2 more fights that he's really interested in. And I guess it's going to be Gaethje. And now the UFC is teasing some super big surprise or super big fight for Khabib if he beats Justin Gaethje and everything. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's going to be GSP. It's going to be GSP. GSP is saying, show me the money. I don't blame GSP for saying, show me the money because, I mean, GSP is pretty much an elite level fighter in his own right. And he stated that he has weight cutting issues and doesn't want to put his health at risk. So apparently, GSP is willing to basically put his health at risk for lots of money. UFC, just pay the man. Give the man lots of money and let's see, you know, really if Khabib is the GOAT or on his way to being the GOAT that the UFC and people say that he is, or if he's still a level below, you know, like the old school legends like GSP, like Anderson Silva, you know, even John Jones. I'll go ahead and toss John Jones in there because he's been there. He's fought like Lyoto Machida. He's fought, you know, like Mauricio Shogun Rua, all of that. So just pay GSP his money and let's see the fight finally. But yes, other than that, I mean, Khabib. This is definitely a capstone fight, I believe, where we get to see if Khabib can basically take on such a forward-moving, non-stop, aggressive style coming from somebody like Justin Gaethje who's willing to go out there and leave it on the line. I'm not saying that other fighters weren't willing to go out there and leave it on the line, but like Michael Johnson was going there to strike. Like Dustin Poirier was going there to strike and believed that his wrestling, you know, his takedown defense was basically going to hold up against Khabib. We saw that was not going to happen. Conor McGregor, he didn't think that he was going to have to go out there and leave it all on the line. He thought he was just going to go over there and hit Khabib with a shotgun left and be done with it. Justin Gaethje has seen these challenges, and he knows that when he goes out there, that Khabib is going to do everything in his power to take him down, hold him there, and beat him up. Justin Gaethje knows that he is going to go out there. He's probably going to drown. He's probably going to drown. He's probably going to go there and be held on the ground for probably the first 2 rounds and be pounded into oblivion. But Justin Gaethje wants to go there. Justin Gaethje wants to go there, but he wants to also get taken there and then come back and still win this fight. This is what Justin Gaethje is prepared for. So Justin Gaethje, by, I guess, you know, all of his other fights and everything like that, looks like an incredible fighter, and he is an incredible fighter. But is he an incredible enough fighter to put up a fight against Khabib? That's what we are all here to see. I mean, let's take a look into, you know, like some of the stats for Khabib and some of the stats for Justin Gaethje. A lot of people believe that Khabib Nurmagomedov has never lost a round, probably 1 round to Conor McGregor. And that might kind of be true. But a lot of people forget that Khabib took on Gleison Tibau. Khabib had 13 takedown attempts against Gleison Tibau. He did not get 1 single takedown. And a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and say that Tibau, I think, had 1 takedown against Khabib in that fight. So we have to think about that and say, hey, what credentials did Gleison Tibau have, you know, when he fought Khabib? He was a state champion in wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Brazil. They're not slacking, and they don't slack over there with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Their wrestling, I'm not very sure of, but still, he was able to basically make that a grappling match that Khabib was not prepared for and apparently did not win when he fought Khabib. We could make the argument that back then Khabib was still, you know, not as good as he might be now, but still, it's something that happened. It's part of UFC history. It's part of Khabib's MMA history, and we also have to look at that. Now, when we look at, say, Justin Gaethje, and everybody's like, oh, well, he never uses his wrestling because he doesn't have to, and it's that good, and that he's the NCAA Division One All-American. All right, what does that mean? How does American wrestling stack up to Dagestani or, Caucasus Mountain wrestling and everything like that, like most say? And then to top it off, Justin Gaethje with a Division One All-American wrestling and everything does not mean that he is a wrestling champion. It just means that he came in somewhere in between first and eighth place to basically make NCAA Division One All-American. Justin Gaethje placed seventh to make All-American for NCAA Division One. So other than that, Justin Gaethje does not have like elite level credentials or like first, second, or third place credentials in wrestling and everything to say that his wrestling is probably one of the best that has ever been seen, or even been seen in, say, that Khabib has seen. I mean, Khabib Nurmagomedov trained with what? DC, who is Olympic level by far and heavier. He trains with, like a whole bunch of other wrestlers and everything that are Olympic level or above. So how would Khabib Nurmagomedov not be trained and not be prepared for, say, the takedown defense of somebody like Justin Gaethje? But I'm not crapping on Justin Gaethje here. I'm just stating that stat for stat, that might look a little bit wonky when people say that Justin Gaethje's wrestling is going to be able to negate what Khabib Nurmagomedov is able to do. So I'll just go ahead and throw that out there for the people. On top of that, let's look at Justin Gaethje striking. Justin Gaethje, yeah, he's throwing out like what? Like 8-something strikes per minute. And he is accurate and he does not gas. Please, at what point in time here does anybody make a correlation between someone like Conor McGregor, who has 5-something strikes per minute, and Justin Gaethje, who's around 8, maybe even 7 strikes per minute, accurate in non-stop forward pressure? Justin Gaethje basically has everything that he needs to basically make this a striking nightmare for Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like a striking nightmare that Khabib has possibly never seen inside of the cage, but I'm pretty sure that he's prepared for. So, this is not Conor McGregor. Let's be serious here. Conor McGregor is always looking for the counter left. He's always looking for like a nice shot in, and then he goes with the swarm. Justin Gaethje is just going to come in there and start punching and kicking and not stop. Justin Gaethje also has leg kicks in his arsenal. He sits down on those leg kicks. Taking out the legs of Khabib, yeah, a lot of people don't think about that, but that also removes a lot of his wrestling technique and the power for his takedowns. So standing, this might be a nightmare for Khabib, but Khabib is probably 100% prepared for it. But listen to Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So we're going to have to see here. But yes, so when you look at these two things where you're looking at like a wrestler like Khabib, who has decent striking. Yes, he did knock down Conor McGregor. Don't lie to yourself. Don't deny it. It happened. And you have a striker who started from a wrestling background like Justin Gaethje. You think this is a classic striker versus wrestler matchup, but it's not. Both of these guys sorry, Rays. This is a fight breakdown. This is not the live stream of the UFC fight. That's not even legal. Hey, how you doing there, Alfin? Hey, nice to have you, man. But yeah, so like, let's be real here. This is not a classic striker versus wrestler type fight. It's just not. It's wrestler with striking, with high class striking, and wrestler with surprising, decent striking and everything going against each other. So it's basically going to come down to who can neutralize others' wrestling and keep them on the ground more than anything else. Think about that. So that's my take on it for the day and everything. And you know, Rays, we did that before, and the UFC came after us, and they gave us 3 copyright strikes and almost took down our channel. I mean, I really want to. We can't even play. We can't even play the audio from the fight. If they have the audio inside of the video, they will basically come back and copyright strike you. Rays, if I could, I would do it just for you, man. I really would. Yeah, we tried it low key. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and just be completely honest. We even tried it from Twitch, and they still found us. If we could really do this without being copyright striked, this would be on already. Like, there would be no ifs, ands, or buts. But considering we don't want to lose our channel, we can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I know, man. I know. I'm sorry. We just can't. Like, we have to be totally legal about it and everything. And the UFC is already watching us. We are already on their blacklist. They don't like us. I mean, it is what it is. But if you want to know something about the fight, I can tell you something about the fight. I can tell you that Jared Cannonier is definitely not winning round one, and he looks like he's about to blow a very gassed out Robert Whittaker in round two with 41 seconds left. Yeah, we can't do that either. We have tried that. We've tried Twitch. We've tried Google Hangouts. We've tried what is that? We tried Discord. We tried FaceTime. We tried Facebook Messenger. Every single one of them got taken down. Oh, you want me to commentate? You okay? You know what? I'll commentate. Cool. This is gonna be it's gonna be different, but I think I can do this. All right, here we go. All right, that was the end of round two, and basically it looks like Robert Whittaker is basically just gassing out there. Jared Cannonier, he doesn't look too good for his own, but he's basically taken about like 3-4 leg kicks, and he's basically taking the power out of Robert Whittaker's strikes. So here comes the third round here, and honestly, it's not looking good for Robert Whittaker. He's gassed, he's slow, his legs are hurting. I don't know if there's any welts on his legs yet, but he doesn't have any striking power, and Jared Cannonier is basically still out there throwing like power shots. It looks like the third round's about to start, and Robert Whittaker's corner is basically not saying anything to him that's basically going to help him in this fight. Just go out there, check the leg kicks, and So it looks like Whittaker has 25 strikes in round two, and Jared Cannonier has 16 strikes in round two. So it looks like Robert Whittaker has round one and round two won with 25 and 26 strikes. Jared Cannonier has 15 strikes in round one and 16 strikes in round two. So here goes round three. Yeah, Robert Whittaker's leg or calf is just looking, it's almost looking like ground beef. But he's still striking. He's out there throwing out jabs from the front leg, looking for the side kick in his taekwondo stance. And Jared Cannonier is just kind of just standing there looking for a way to throw a hook, to throw a power shot. Like I said, man, I'm not Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? This is probably my first time that anybody's asked for commentating like improv anytime ever. But yeah, Jared Cannonier is just basically standing there in a striking stance, in a boxing striking stance. He just got head kicked, and he's wobbly. Jared Cannonier is chasing him down. He just chased him down, got on top, ground and pound, and he is trying to finish Jared Cannonier on the ground. Jared Cannonier he's basically just dizzy as hell. Robert Whittaker is on top of him, and he just got into his half guard. Jared Cannonier basically pulled him tight, keeping him close, getting his wits about him. Oh man, that was close. Robert Whitaker just got one leg over, and Robert Whitaker is looking to get into full mount here, and Jared Cannonier is basically keeping that one leg in, keeping him half. Robert Whitaker trying to slip into a Darce choke here. Nope, he's not going to get that. Jared Cannonier basically locking the leg down to keep him in half guard. And, Robert Whitaker almost stepped into full mount, but it got the other leg trapped. Jared Cannonier just basically trying to live, but honestly, even if he makes it through this, he's lost all 3 rounds. And Robert Whitaker just stepped all the way into full mount. Jared Cannonier just trying to live, keeping his head locked down, keeping him close. Robert Whitaker just broke free. Now he has Jared Cannonier's back, looking for the rear naked choke. He has 1 hook in, 2 hooks in. And now Jared Cannonier is just looking like ground. Oh yeah, his eye is all shot, bloody, and he's just looking to hold on to Robert Whitaker's hands. Robert Whitaker just trying to basically distract him with punches. Robert Whitaker lets go of the back control, and Jared Cannonier gets back up. Jared Cannonier basically locks Robert Whitaker into a clinch against a fence. No punches being thrown by either fighter. Jared Cannonier basically throwing knees and elbows, just trying to score points. With 2 minutes left, there's really not much that Jared Cannonier could do here except throw like a hook and just knock Whitaker out. He's basically lost his fight. Yeah, both of them are against the fence in a clinch and not really doing much. They break from the clinch, and Whitaker is back into Taekwondo stance. Jared Cannonier is basically in boxer stance trying to get the knockout. Nope. Both of them have nothing left here. Whitaker just basically just going to counter for the rest of the fight. Jared Cannonier basically looking for that 1-punch knockout. He's not throwing any jabs. He's not doing anything. Just moving and tossing out feeler shots. Whitaker's just basically moving, staying out of the way, throwing a shot here to keep Jared Cannonier off of his feet and to basically keep him guessing. And 1 minute and about 5 seconds left. Whitaker just out there throwing jabs, going for the coast to the win. Jared Cannonier's right eye is complete mess. He can't see anything, probably can't throw any strikes, not throwing any more power shots. About 50 seconds left in the match. And yeah, Robert Whitaker is basically just staying on the back burner, just basically coasting until he gets the win, throwing out jabs and just moving back and forth. Oh, wait. Jared Cannonier just hit him with a straight shot and just wobbled him. Now he's trying to finish Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker's backing away. Not 2 days, but he definitely looked hurt there. And now Robert Whitaker is trying to get into a brawl, but pushes Jared Cannonier back against the fence for a clinch with about 10 seconds left. Not really much going to happen here except, Robert Whitaker just basically picking shots and holding Jared Cannonier against the fence. 3 seconds left, and basically this fight is done. Jared Cannonier just lost all 3 rounds. Robert Whitaker ran away with strikes all 3 rounds to take this win here. I mean, definitely what was expected of this fight. Just Robert Whitaker just countering shots and taking easy, nice, quick shots. Jared Cannonier, I guess, was just looking for power shots, and it doesn't look like he's going to get that title shot against Israel Adesanya, which means who's left to fight Israel Adesanya here? Like, Jared Cannonier definitely lost his fight. If these judges score this fight for Jared Cannonier in this match, I'm just going to end the stream. I'm going to go, sit down somewhere on the field, and I'm just going to go drink a beer and just contemplate my whole entire life. Robert Whitaker won all 3 of those rounds based on strikes alone. So now they're just going through the replay, going through a strike between Jared Cannonier and Robert Whitaker, and yeah. So basically, fight stats: Robert Whitaker threw 65 head strikes, Jared Cannonier's 9. His head striking accuracy was 44% to Jared Cannonier's 20%. Leg kicks were 22 for Cannonier and 4 for Robert Whitaker. Knockdowns, 1 for Robert Whitaker and 0 for Jared Cannonier. I mean, really, when you think about it, this looks like a complete wash for Robert Whitaker. So we're just going to have to see what the judges score this. I'm not kidding, guys. If this fight is scored for Jared Cannonier, I'm ending the stream, and I'm just going to go start drinking beers. Let's see. Judges reading the scorecards now. Even the ref is just looking at Robert Whitaker. Yep. Robert Whitaker takes it. Which leaves Israel Adesanya pretty much no one to really fight in his weight class. Unanimous decision, Robert Whitaker. So, what do you guys think about that? You all think that Robert Whitaker should get another title shot based on that win? Which, more than likely, he will not. But I think he could probably give it another go. Probably turn out the same way, considering the fighting styles between Robert Whitaker and Israel Adesanya. But definitely still not a great enough showing, in my opinion, for Robert Whitaker to get another shot against Israel Adesanya, considering their skill sets. Israel Adesanya he looked too fast, he looked too accurate, he looked too sharp, he looked too good in terms of game planning to basically do anything different and still not win against Robert Whitaker. Like, Robert Whitaker would have to come with a complete different game plan. He would have to increase his accuracy, he would have to increase his speed, he would have to increase his power to basically make it even compelling enough shot to go for the immediate rematch right now against Israel Adesanya. That's my opinion, but we'll just have to see there. There we go. Yes, Rays. Sorry for my commentating and everything, but like I said, I've never done improv commentating here before. I would say, you know what? I would honestly give myself probably like a 4 out of 10. Like, come on now. Think about it. But yes, Robert Whitaker just basically beat Jared Cannonier. That's pretty much what everybody expected. It is what it is. So it's like now we have to think, like, who's there to fight Israel Adesanya? I'm actually going to take a look. Give me 1 second here. If you think I'm cheating because I'm looking at the UFC rankings, okay, I might be doing a little bit of cheating. I should probably be able to remember all the stuff off the top of my head, like my name was Joe Rogan or Ariel Helwani, but I'm not good like them. So I'm going to look. Let's see who we got here. I mean, we got Jack Hermanson. I mean, literally. I mean, Israel Adesanya's already beat Whitaker. He's already beat Costa. Hermanson is Israel Adesanya's already beat Yoel Romero. So, I mean, like, really it just comes down to Hermanson. Maybe Till if he could get a win. Maybe Derek Brunson if he could get two wins. And sitting at number 8 is Kelvin Gastelum. And we've already seen Israel Adesanya beat Kelvin Gastelum. Like, literally, there is nobody for Israel Adesanya to fight. Maybe he just needs to call it a day and just go up to heavyweight and try to fight John Jones. Maybe even make it a light heavyweight match. You know, get it done while the iron's hot. Israel Adesanya could walk away with about $5 million. John Jones could walk away with about $10 million. And they could finally get their Twitter feud done and over with. I mean, it's just, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's really weird for two grown, elite, world-class fighters to have, like, a childish Twitter war rather than finding a way to just go ahead and fight this out. I mean, we're on Twitter, I'll be completely honest, but it's just really, really cringy, kind of weird thing to see at the same time. So we just follow it, see what they're talking about. Just not our thing here. But yes, I mean, for you guys out there watching and everything like that, what do you think about the win that Robert Whitaker just had over Jared Cannonier? Is this what you expected? Like, did everybody really expect Jared Cannonier to go out there and hit Robert Whitaker with a flying uppercut and basically get the KO win and fight Israel Adesanya? I don't think that's what everybody was expecting. And a matter of fact, for some reason, I mean, I think we have some salty people in here, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I mean, if we have any salty people in here saying that Israel Adesanya and John Jones shouldn't be tweeting each other because they're way more grown than that, or saying something that, that they don't like, give us your reason why. Give us your reason why. If you think there's something here that you don't like that I'm saying, tell us your reason why. I would honestly like to know. Because literally, Israel Adesanya has nobody to fight. From what? Number 2 in the division all the way to number 8 in the division. Israel Adesanya has no one to fight. John Jones and Israel Adesanya are basically hating the living hell out of each other. And honestly, everybody's seen it. Everybody wants them to fight. I mean, okay, so let's take Hotak here. Hotak, how are you doing there? It sounds like you're a little bit salty in the crotch. What's up with your panties, buddy? So, here, I'm going to show your comment here. Why would you think that we are a little bitch? I honestly want to know. Like, either you have a very good reason or you're just here to basically just be like a salty, whiny crybaby that has nothing else to do with your life. Give us your like legit, honest opinion or analysis on why you would believe that, or what basically made your panties get in a bunch. I mean, you left a comment. Surely you have to have something else smart. You have to have something smart to say to actually make this a good debate that pleads your case. Israel Adesanya has no one to fight. Jared Cannonier was basically not going to win this fight. And why not make the Israel Adesanya versus John Jones fight now, while John Jones does not have an opponent? I mean, in all honesty and everything like that, it sounds like you have something to say, but why do you have something to say? Tell us why. Otherwise, you're legit coming off like you're a toddler who knows how to curse and you're throwing a temper tantrum. Yes, we're on live, and this is all on you, buddy. You're the one that had something to say. Let's see what you got. No? Nothing? You just wanted to, like, come on live and look cool because you could say a couple of curse words? Is that it? No? Okay. Well, you know what, Hotak Bilal? I don't know where you're from or what type of sand got in your vagina, buddy. But apparently you have nothing to say here, so I'm gonna like sincerely say thank you for your opinion, but also tell you stop being a little bitch because we said something you didn't like. Give us your opinion on why you said that or not. You have about 10 seconds to reply, or I'm just kind of just like hide your comment and just block you. I mean, like there's very little options here. So okay. All right. So apparently you have no opinion other than wanting to cry. So here we go. Here is your removal. There we go. All right. So now we're back to talking about UFC fight. They're basically just playing highlights of Khabib and Justin Gaethje basically just beating people up and just usual. But I mean, come on, like this is what they do. Like, yes, Khabib beat Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier came in there and was like, "Oh yeah, hey, I'm gonna come in here and just keep Khabib off of me." He's gonna be like, "Get off me, get off me." If anybody saw that promo, Yeah, Dustin Poirier couldn't keep him off of him. Conor McGregor training with Danis, whoever the hell Dylan Danis is. Like, let's be real. Like, he's world class Brazilian Jiu Jitsu champion, and if he can train Conor McGregor to effectively do anything against Khabib, who is Justin Gaethje training with that's going to basically get him up to par to deal with Khabib's takedowns? I honestly don't know. I don't know who's in his training camp. I don't know who he's brought in or he's outside training with. But going from a NCAA division wrestling, All-American wrestling background to where he currently is, where honestly we've seen nothing of Justin Gaethje's wrestling. What are we supposed to expect? What are we really supposed to believe here and everything other than Justin Gaethje is just going to come and just throw 8, 9, 10 strikes per minute trying to knock Khabib out? What are we really believing here, MMA fans? Like, are we just looking at these highlights and just looking at who Justin Gaethje's beat and just believe that he's just going to come have a spectacular KO or TKO of Khabib because Khabib can't take him down? It just seems like we're all buying into a lot of hype behind who Justin Gaethje is and what he's going to bring to this whole entire fight. And yeah, we all bought it. We're all watching the fight now. I could only imagine, you know what I mean, like how many people paid for the pay-per-view and everything like that. Like, we're all watching the same fight. What are we supposed to believe? Like, Khabib was supposed to somehow go in there and knock out Justin Gaethje? Come on, be real, people. That's not what's gonna happen. Like, and Justin Gaethje somehow just supposed to have this magical skill of what? Using his wrestling to just neutralize everything Khabib could do? Apparently, from what's been playing on the highlights, what's been played throughout this whole entire week for the last couple of, 2 months, this is all what we're supposed to believe. I don't believe it. I don't know what's really going to happen because this is MMA. MMA is completely crazy. We know what it is. What we all really want to see is how does Khabib deal with somebody who is going to basically be an American zombie and just come forward nonstop and try to knock his head off. Conor McGregor is not that person. We've said this. Dustin Poirier is not this person. Was not that person. Like, these guys and everything, as elite level fighters as they are, were not prepared to come forward nonstop and fight Khabib the way that Justin Gaethje is prepared to come and fight Khabib. Like, let's be honest here. And I mean, I guess we're gonna have to find out. We have Justin Gaethje basically making the walk right now, and I'm pretty pumped for this. I'm really, really pumped for this fight. I mean, I would be pretty devastated if Khabib lost this fight. It would be really nice for Khabib to basically win and say, hey, we have a legit, cemented lightweight champion here ever since, I'm going to go with Benson Henderson. I mean, 3 defenses and everything seems to be the max for most of the lightweight champions. I mean, Frankie Edgar, Benson Henderson. I mean, Khabib might notch his 3rd, but 3 seems to be the max. And it would be nice to have somebody else cement this whole entire division the way that's supposed to be cemented with somebody who's undefeated. I'm not being biased and saying, yeah, I want Khabib to win. I'm just saying it would be nice to have cemented divisions. Justin Gaethje winning and defending the belt, it wouldn't be terrible either. It's just doesn't seem very likely to happen. Odds makers have Justin Gaethje at what? Plus 250 underdog. On some odds makers, I think it's like plus 300. So odds makers are sometimes wrong, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens here. Yeah, Justin Gaethje. As a matter of fact, Justin Gaethje's strikes per minute is 7.74 strikes per minute. So a little bit under 8, but a little bit higher than 7 that I said earlier. And everybody sitting around on Twitter, everybody sitting around in chats are saying that this is an easy win for Khabib. I don't believe them. I really do not believe them at all. And I think Justin Gaethje's gonna definitely make this a fight. I think he's gonna make this more of a fight than say Michael Johnson did. I say he's gonna make this more of a fight than say Dustin Poirier did. He's probably gonna make it more of a fight than Conor McGregor did. Like, here, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Did Conor McGregor even really make it a fight? Like, did he? Not crapping on Conor McGregor because I don't want him to, fly over in his private jet and like throw a dolly through my front door or anything. But yeah, just saying, like, I think Justin Gaethje has the skills to basically make this more of a fight for Khabib than Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier and Michael Johnson, as pure strikers as they are. That's all I'm saying. I mean, one of the things that I really want to know is, can Justin Gaethje really wrestle like he says he can? I guess we're going to find out tonight. And his coach has been saying that Justin Gaethje hasn't shown his secret weapon in any of his fights. Like, what secret weapon? Like, is he going to pull out a flying gogoplata? Is he really going to try the Rolling Thunder like he did against Luis Palomino? I don't know. I think that a lot of the UFC and highlights and coaches have been talking up their fighter like they're supposed to do, but I think they've just been taken to a next level. Like, this secret weapon that Justin Gaethje's coach has been talking about better be so spectacular that that I'm just gonna have to see this. I really want to see this spectacular special skill that Justin Gaethje has. Khabib is basically about to step into the ring. They're checking him, making sure, he doesn't have any iron in his chin, underneath that beard, because, Khabib has an iron chin. Don't let Conor McGregor fool you. Conor McGregor's a liar. Don't sue me, Conor McGregor. Don't do it. All right. So here we go. Khabib's about to get in the cage, and this one's about to be official. Super official, MMA fans. Hopefully Khabib doesn't trip on a wire and basically hurt himself. Yes, that's a Tony Ferguson reference. Oh, Cyrus, you here?
I'm here.
Oh, hey, welcome back. What happened?
I was here the whole time, man.
Oh, okay. You went quiet for like the longest time.
I don't know. I guess it's mic dropped for a second. I can hear you just fine, my friend.
Okay, cool. So what do you think? What do you think about this fight? What do you think is going to happen here?
This is really interesting and fun because I really have no idea. Like, it's just so clear for both men what they need to do. They need to prepare, So it's like a little side business these people have.
Okay. I mean, like, they're almost so even in stats. Like, I don't know. Like I said, like, I think a lot of people are expecting like a striker versus grappler type fight here, and I think that Justin Gaethje has more than just striking to basically make this a fight. I mean, if Justin Gaethje comes in this first round and gets taken down for 4 minutes, should we call that a wash?
Yeah.
Should fans just be like, oh, well, we already know what's going to happen here?
Yeah, it's basically a wash because it's not going to get better. If anything, it's going to get worse for whoever he's doing that to.
See, and that's what I'm like conditioned to believe. Like, when Khabib takes somebody down, like, oh, he was able to take him down that easy. Okay, this is a super wash. Like, he's not going anywhere if he could take him down that easy. But like, watching all these highlights and watching all these promos, it's just like, oh man, no, you should believe in Justin Gaethje that he's gonna pull out his secret weapon, or his NCAA Division I All-American skills are just gonna magically activate and stop Khabib from takedowns. I mean,
yeah, it's quite practical.
Right. like I honestly believe that when Khabib says that he's gonna go for 100 takedowns,
Yeah.
I believe he's gonna go for 100 takedowns.
I w- uh, Pardon me, I can't stop yawning. Yeah, it's more than possible. The thing is, like, I don't want to encourage, bad behavior. So
I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, you think like 100 takedowns per round is bad behavior?
no, I mean that's not I'm not blaming my shit on Qatar. I'm just saying there's a lot of bullshit from there in France.
Sheesh, yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah.
still they're still holding Justin Gaethje as a plus 250 underdog. Even
Uh-huh.
still, I thought it would have dropped by now. At least they would have given him like at least plus 150, plus 190. But they're still holding him as a plus 250 underdog. I
Uh-huh.
other than the stats here, I really want to see like what the odd makers see when they're saying that Justin Gaethje is a plus 250 underdog and Khabib is a negative 315 favorite in this fight. Like, surely they got to see something that I'm missing here. All right, fans. Like, I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm gonna commentate this fight.
Okay.
Like, if you want to step in and add something here, Cyrus, and everything, just step in.
Sure. No, it's great. It's actually a great idea. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. That's pretty cool.
I guess, like I said, I like Ray's asked me to commentate like earlier. He said I did like horrible commentating, but I can't disagree with him. I mean, he asked me to do it on
No.
the spot, but I'm gonna do it. Like for everybody that's listening and everything that cannot watch this fight, I'm gonna commentate to the best of my abilities. Make sure that you know exactly what's going on in this fight. If you hate it, I'm sorry. If you love it, I'm still sorry. So here we go. All right, this fight started. Basically, guys just sitting down there, sitting in the center, just feeling each other out here. Khabib not throwing any strikes. Justin Gaethje not throwing any strikes. And, yep, still feeling each other out. No strikes thrown yet. Sitting in the center of the octagon. Still no
They both.
strikes. Oh, Justin Gaethje
Yeah.
just threw out leg kicks. Well, he threw out one leg kick. So if he throws out two, we probably might have a little bit of insight into his plans on what he wants to do here for the fight. Nope, only that one leg kick has been thrown so far, and yeah, no, this is just a really long feeling out process for Justin Gaethje. Like Justin Gaethje usually would have already moved forward like a long time ago. So this is it's definitely weird to see Justin Gaethje not just basically blitzing forward, trying to at least get strikes or get in clinch range, and yeah, it looked like he just went for another leg kick. So I think he's gonna go for the leg kick route and see if that basically gives him a little bit of an advantage here. Nope, he just went for his third leg kick. Yep, he's definitely going leg kick heavy. Khabib moved in to strike, and basically they just threw like three strikes each, missing each other. And it looks like Khabib is trying to move into strike, which is this is a complete reversal in roles here. Khabib is basically pressuring Justin Gaethje and moving into strike range. Justin Gaethje is basically moving back, looking for ways to kick Khabib's legs out. This is definitely a weird fight. Oh, Khabib basically went in. Justin Gaethje pushing back. Both of them missed strikes. Khabib trying to jab, missing both jabs. Justin Gaethje, he just hit Khabib with a leg kick that kind of turned Khabib sideways. Khabib let go of the takedown. Khabib just going in for a takedown. Justin Gaethje scrambled out of both takedowns. All right, this is becoming a fight. Khabib basically moving in for strikes. Justin Gaethje throwing like looping overhands. Khabib still in there throwing jabs. Justin Gaethje just hit Khabib with a looping right. Didn't even phase him. Oh, Justin Gaethje just threw a leg kick, just almost wobbled Khabib. Khabib is throwing wild, crazy strikes with his hands down. This fight is getting weird. Justin Gaethje just basically bobbing and weaving, looking to throw looping strikes, misses. Khabib trying to throw a flying knee, which looked completely horrible, but it is what it is. Justin Gaethje he's actually starting to pile up these leg strikes here. And it looks like it's kind of affecting Khabib because Khabib is not really moving fast. And it looks like he's kind of almost limping on that leg. Khabib taking deep breaths. Justin Gaethje just continue to line up these leg kicks. Khabib a little bit wobbly. Khabib just tried to throw a flying knee. Justin Gaethje rolled out of the way. And Khabib basically going back to jabs. Justin Gaethje looking to throw the looping left and right. Khabib slowing it down, tossing out jabs. Justin Gaethje just backing away and just throwing counter hooks. Holy crap, this is, oof. Justin Gaethje just hit Khabib with another leg strike. Just stopped Khabib in place. Justin Gaethje's out there throwing loops, wild loops. I think he hit Khabib with one. Khabib was starting to slow down. I don't know. Oof. Justin Gaethje just hit Khabib with another leg kick, nearly turned Khabib completely sideways. He just hit Khabib with an overhand right, missed with the overhand left. Khabib throwing jabs and kicks, starting to slow down, wobbling on his legs. Justin Gaethje just hit Khabib with about the seventh leg kick, and Khabib just went straight in for the takedown. He now has Justin Gaethje down on the ground, has both of Justin Gaethje's legs in his leg lock. Khabib basically stepping over into full mount almost. Justin Gaethje keeping one leg in to keep Khabib in the half guard. And Khabib has stepped over into full mount, into complete full mount, sitting almost on the chest of Justin Gaethje. He has basically put, Justin Gaethje is now in an armbar. Khabib has Justin Gaethje in an armbar, and it looks like he's going to break his arm. Oof. All right, and the round is over. Basically, Justin Gaethje was saved by the bell there. Holy crap, what type of fight was that? In the first round, Khabib Nurmagomedov came out with 24 strikes to Justin Gaethje's 22. Honestly, I'm going to have to say that Khabib walked away with that first round. I don't know how he's going to look coming out in the second round. His legs have got to be shredded here. Cyrus, what do you think about that? I mean, we're going through the highlights here. Yeah, Justin Gaethje hit Khabib with inside leg kicks and outside leg kicks. I think he hit him with 2 inside leg kicks and about 5 outside leg kicks. Left leg, and I mean, Khabib is wobbling, turning sideways with each kick. I don't think he could take much more of those. And I think that just basically took a lot of the wind out of sails. Khabib took a lot of power out of his shots. He's probably going to have to start going for takedowns and stop trying to throw out that jab. But here's round 2. Both fighters basically feeling each other out again. Khabib looking to throw out 1-2 combos, 2 jabs, and then an overhand right. Khabib basically just moving forward. Justin Gaethje throwing counters whenever Khabib moves in. Khabib now throwing leg kicks. Hit Justin Gaethje with one nice leg kick to the left. Now both fighters just basically throwing jabs and feeling out kicks against each other. Nothing really landing. Justin Gaethje still throwing the overhand looping right. No follow through. And all right, Khabib trying to come in close. Oof. Justin Gaethje just kicked Khabib in the calf and just basically almost took Khabib off of his feet. Khabib now just walking. Justin Gaethje just hit Khabib with an inside leg kick. And he just hit Justin Gaethje with an outside leg kick. Khabib went for the takedown. He now has Justin Gaethje's back. Justin Gaethje turns over, but it leads Khabib into a full mount. So now let's see what Khabib could do. Oh no, it looks like it looks like Khabib has Justin Gaethje in a triangle choke, locked in tight, and Justin Gaethje has nowhere to go, and it looks like he has passed. Yep, Khabib basically choked out Justin Gaethje with a triangle choke. Started from the mount position, full mount position. Holy crap. Holy crap. For everybody that's listening right now, honestly, if you could get to Twitter, anywhere, you need to go see this highlight on that transition that just happened, where Khabib, which is getting shredded by Justin Gaethje's leg kicks, Khabib went for the takedown, transitioned from the back of Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje basically made the mistake of basically rolling over. Khabib transitioned from full mount on top of Justin Gaethje to the leg wrap over the arms and transitioned over into a triangle choke of Justin Gaethje. Yeah, Justin Gaethje wasn't going to tap. That's not what he does. And basically chokes Justin Gaethje out. Like, holy crap, that is definitely going in the highlights. Well, yeah. That, very stunned, very impressed by Khabib here. I don't think there's anything left to say about, like the legacy of Khabib or, any strikers with forward pressure and all these strikes can really do against Khabib. Like, the best chance of all of that happening just left with Justin Gaethje. Legit, like, this is an amazing highlight. Like, the level of skill and the accuracy and the speed that Khabib pulled this off is amazing. I'm pretty sure I saw Justin Gaethje tap. It looked like he was like just smacking Khabib in the head, but I'm pretty sure I saw him tap during this. Yeah, he did tap, and the referee didn't pull him off. I guess the referee didn't see it, and yeah, Khabib just basically choked out Justin Gaethje. Wow. Wow. Thoroughly impressed. There's nothing really much to say here. You can't go on and say that just that Khabib Nurmagomedov hasn't basically used his fighting style to defeat people like Conor McGregor. You can't say that he hasn't used his same fighting style that he's basically used to defeat people like Justin Gaethje. With Khabib's fighting style, I guess you could be like the most amazing striker on the planet, but it doesn't hold a candle to what Khabib could do. What else is there left for Khabib to do now? There's absolutely nothing for anybody to say, I can challenge Khabib Nurmagomedov with this, that nobody could believe that he can't defeat. Who else is there left? Like, that was a damn near domination. And to be completely honest here, I think the only thing left right now is GSP. That's it. Nobody else has anything that they can bring to the table that can challenge Khabib. Striking doesn't work. Apparently, NCAA Division I, 7th place, wrestling does not work. What else and who else is there for Khabib to fight? There's no one. So, UFC, if you're listening, which I'm 8,000% sure that you're not, or if this ever gets to your ears, just give GSP his $10 million to fight Khabib and, let Khabib go do something else with his legacy or something like that. Like, just give the fans what they want. Give Khabib an actual, fighter that could basically match him at least. I'm not going to say that GSP could basically top Khabib until they fight. But at least give him a fighter in terms of legacy, skill, dedication, focus that can match him. Because there's no other fighter on the lightweight roster and everything that I guess we need to see or believe that we can see that will basically be able to take down Khabib. Like, everybody just go to Khabib's Twitter or his Instagram and just toss him congratulations. Because that was definitely impressive. It wasn't ground strikes. It wasn't a decision win. It wasn't a TKO. It was a legit triangle choke from Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's just something that nobody expected in this fight. We really have nothing else to say here. Who else is there left? Don't say Nate Diaz. Don't say Nate Diaz. Please, for the love of all mercy, do not say Khabib versus Conor McGregor 2. I mean, Conor McGregor's probably going to have to go train for 3 years. Dustin Poirier's probably going to have to train for like 3 years himself before they're able to close a gap in wrestling or gap in grappling that they're at now to where Khabib currently is, to even make a case of why they should even be fighting him. There's nobody. UFC, go ahead. Make the GSP fight. You said that you were going to give Khabib somebody special. You said that there is something in the works for Khabib. No other fighter makes sense right now other than GSP. GSP has the grappling credentials. He has the striking credentials. He has the legacy credentials. Like, what else is there to say? MMA fans, like, seriously, if you're listening, thank you for listening. Tell us what you think and everything, but honestly, go watch the highlights. The highlights are on Twitter right now. For us and everything, just go to on Twitter at MMA HWatch. The highlights are going to be up, but that was definitely impressive. That's probably going to go up there in the highlight of Mighty Mouse's flying armbar. But seeing a triangle choke come from Khabib, from the transitions that he did, definitely worth watching. Definitely worth putting in the highlight reels. Period. But that's UFC 254 from us MMA fans. We're basically going to go get into word battles with people on Twitter, possibly Instagram, whatever. Who knows? If you all want to join us, we're at MMA HWatch on Twitter or at MMA Hype News on Instagram. Either or, you're going to see us arguing with people because people don't believe that there's anybody left for Khabib. GSP is left for Khabib if the UFC is willing to pay the man his money. Everybody, that is all for me. That is G here and everything from Soul of a Fighter. Cyrus, do you have anything to say? All right, well, hey guys, thank you for joining us. And until next time, this is Soul of a Fighter, and we are out.